everyone. Welcome to this episode of Steve's Horse Show. I am your host, Steve Cook, and today we have Blaine Arthur with us from the 4-H Foundation.
Yes.
And I was just going to say 4-H, but 4-H Foundation sounds so much more legit. She's going to talk to us a little bit about what is 4-H. You might be a barrel racer that's never even heard of it. You might be, or surely everyone's heard of it.
I hope so. I hope so in Oklahoma.
But you might be wondering what they do, how to get into it, how to get your kid or grandkid into it. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Start from the top. History quiz for you. How did the 4-H Foundation start, I guess?
Well, the 4-H Foundation actually started. We had a very generous gift from a donor in 1962. So the 4-H program has been around a lot longer than that. But the foundation itself started. Then we had a very large gift, and so they said, we need to formalize how we're going to handle gifts and support for the 4-H Foundation, and so that's how the foundation started. But the 4-H program has been around for a long time,
and years, yeah.
And the largest youth development organization in the world.
Wow.
And
bigger than the Girl Scouts?
Bigger than the Girl Scouts.
What?
So
I didn't know this was so legit. I better set up straight.
Absolutely. And so we've got 4-H members all across the state of Oklahoma and also nationwide.
So how far does your reach? Are you just Oklahoma is what you're responsible for?
Yes, we're responsible for Oklahoma. So all 77 counties, every county has an extension office, and they've got a 4-H educator that's dedicated to working with 4-H members there in that particular county. So we cover north, all the way from the northwest out to the Panhandle, southeast, all across the state, and supporting those 4-H members and their activities, whatever those specific activities might be.
Gotcha. So let's play a game called somebody has a kid and they want to, my mom has had horses her whole life. I've got a 2-year-old kid, so she's going to want her to be involved with horses. How is the 4-H, I guess, helpful in that aspect?
Okay, absolutely. The age-wise, it's an opportunity for our 4-H members is actually 5 to 18. So for our 5 to 8 years old, that's actually our Clover Bud program.
Nice.
For those
Unintended.
youth. Absolutely it is. And so for those youth, those are non-competitive events. So
Cool.
we have activities geared specifically at them. Really the big thing that we want to see through the involvement in the 4-H is that youth development, that learning
Sharing, getting
by
along.
doing, focusing on whatever their project area, and most of your viewers are probably going to be interested in the equine or the
Right.
horse project area. But if they have...
Most of them is just my mom and her friends. So
Okay.
I
Hello,
don't know if
Steve's
they have
mom.
horses.
Good to see you. But
She's like a month behind. She told me about some episodes she just watched, and it was like a long time ago. So
Okay,
I don't even know if she watches it.
Hopefully she watches this one. But they can reach out if you're here in Oklahoma and you have a child that wants to participate in the 4-H program. You reach out to your county office. You can find those online, but every county has
Sure.
an office and with that 4-H educator, and they can let you know about all of the clubs
So
in your
here's
area.
your option for.
Absolutely, because we have kids who want to do the equine project, but we have kids who show livestock, kids
Gotcha.
who want to do photography, kids who want to do cooking,
Ricky,
fabrics and fashion.
You missed your calling.
So essentially, any activity that kids want to participate in, we have a project area that
Cool.
fits their interest and their need. And really the great thing about the 4-H program is our volunteers. We have certified adult volunteers that then help, that are kind of specialists in that particular area and help those young
Gotcha.
adults.
So if it's a livestock, they've been.
Yes,
raised or
they've
involved in
got
the
that
livestock
background, and that's why it's a great opportunity for parents or even grandparents that say, okay, we want our kids to be involved, but then they may become a club leader themselves.
Gotcha.
They may start the Happy Valley 4-H Horse Club,
Right.
and that involves their children, but then other children in the area. So there's a great opportunity for those youth to learn from adults who have that experience and background,
Right.
and kind of do those activities together.
So talk about, like you said, horse industry type of options. I know that there's a lot in 4-H, but what are some of the most popular options for horse owners or people that want to be involved with horses?
Absolutely. Most of our young adults who participate in the horse project area, they like the showing component of it. And so we've got district horse shows and also a state 4-H horse show. And those events range everywhere from showmanship to timed events like barrel racing and pole bending. The ranch riding classes have been really, really popular. We've had a lot of increased interest in that. We also have a 2-year-old training project.
Cool.
Where those members get a long yearling usually, and then they try to make sure that they can do showmanship and Western pleasure by the time
there's
of the
an
state.
event at the end of it?
Yep, it's a competitive
Cool.
event for
I'm
them.
all about the competition.
That's good. Most of our 4-H members are, and so that's very much a training and development opportunity for the kids on the older end. Usually,
Gotcha.
our older members who do that, so they get some assistance. But the 4-H member has to do all the work themselves. They can get guidance from a trainer or family member, but all the training is done by that particular 4-H
Right.
member, which I think is a great learning opportunity for them. But then we have 4-H members who don't have horses who participate in 4-H and the horse project area because they can do.
How does that work? What can you be involved with?
They can be involved in that horse club in their area, but they can do. We've got lots of activities on campus at Oklahoma State. Dr. Chris Heine does a lot of kind of one-day educational events for them. They can focus their speech area on equine activities. They can do community service based around equine activities. So even if they don't have the ability to own a horse, they still have that educational opportunity through hippology or doing something with local trainer breeders in their area. So there's a lot of flexibility within the program that gives them an opportunity to learn and to develop their skills, even if they don't own a horse.
I'll explain the game.
Okay.
This is a copy of a late night game show that we copied. Ricky made you a set of words.
She
And
did.
she made me a set of words. And we have to continue on our interview,
Okay.
and you have to go in order of your words
All right.
that you have to say.
I'll
So
do my very best.
hopefully Ricky will edit this in such a way that the audience, you can follow along while we continue this game. Talking about, I guess, if you want to get into, all I can think about is my word. What is, I don't even know a question. What is your most, most popular or your most involvement as far as clubs go? What is the most popular statewide livestock horses? And
Probably the majority of our 4-H members start into 4-H because they show livestock or show horses. So the animals really provide a great lead into the 4-H program. But then they learn other types of skills, like if they want to do some of our cooking. We have a food showdown challenge where a kid kind of like chopped on TV, so you can make a sushi roll. You can learn how to cook
This
different
isn't 4-H.
protein products.
Do you have stuff around the holiday, like cooking stuff, like holiday cooking, like Jingle Jangle, whatever?
Yeah, we've got
whatever it
things
might be.
geared at the different times of the year, and the kids are learning skills the whole time through that process.
Gotcha. That's awesome. So, as far as being a volunteer or a leader or whatever, did she say one too? Daggum, you're good. How did you catch it? Did you catch mine?
Jingle
Dang,
jangle.
she got mine. How did you catch hers? I'm frustrated. Okay. So, as far as being a leader of or a volunteer, have you been involved in, have you been involved in a club, or are you allowed to be, I guess?
I'm
I guess you
actually
oversee
a
the
mom
clubs.
of
Gotcha.
2 4-H members, so I get to interact with our clubs all over the state. So I'm kind of the mom with the fanny pack, bringing all the stuff that the kids need to make sure that they're geared up to go for the day. Because I've got a clover bud, and then my son's 9, so he's a full-fledged
He's in the Lost Boys
4-H
Club
member.
or whatever?
Yes,
Gotcha.
exactly.
Gotcha.
So it's an enjoyable experience for me from both perspectives.
Cool. So, as far as your kids, if they're involved in 4-H, what is their favorite activity or club that they're in?
So my son is in the.
These words are ridiculous. I'm sorry to cut you off, but how am I supposed to? I said two.
What was your second
The
one?
Lost Boys Club.
Oh,
The Lost
okay.
Boys. Boom.
Where did we get to the Lost?
I had to, she went along with it. She was like, "Yeah, that's kind of weird, but whatever." Dang it. All of mine are cold weather things. Okay.
My next one's gonna be tricky. I'm gonna have to struggle for the next one. So.
Okay. Anyway, sorry. So your kids, are they involved in? What's their most favorite, I guess, thing to do involved with 4-H?
Okay, so my son loves showing cattle. So that's really his big interest, and in our particular, we go to a smaller school, and so he's kind of the lone nomad cattle shower
Gotcha.
within our group.
How far, like, if you're showing, do you go, like, as far as, like, Northwest, I mean, do you go, like, to the Arctic Circle and back and... I can't even say this with a straight face. I'm really wanting to ask her questions, but I can't focus. Oh, God.
Did you catch her? She put it in.
No, what'd she say?
Nomad.
Why did I think that's not a normal word?
I know, and you just didn't even. You just kept going.
All right.
Okay, 3-3. This is the
Woo.
final
3-3.
round,
One
right?
more.
Whoever
One
gets
more.
it first
She beats me
wins.
this
Okay.
much. Okay.
Okay.
But back to the question that I originally cut you off with. Do you really travel? I mean, is it pretty far traveling, or
We do. We
you
travel.
stay in the county is what I'm getting at, or-
We travel. We show in the county. We show within the state of Oklahoma.
Gotcha.
We show
all
all
of
across
Okay.
the United States,
Gotcha.
actually, which gives those kids opportunities to have learning experiences and see other venues and meet other people as well.
Gotcha. So, as far as the show goes, you are maybe one of my favorite contestants. How or not
Contestants.
contestant? I'm locked in game mode. She's a contestant, and I'm trying to beat her. But I did have one other, which was my Uncle Ed, and he was one of my favorite. But I probably laughed harder in this one than.
Okay, now did your Uncle Ed, did he like do any funny things? Did he wear like one of those like, you know,
He
the
was my
squishy
only
hats,
one.
like
No,
the ones that like
that's Uncle
squish
Eddie.
down where, okay, no, okay.
He was the only one with a cowboy hat, though, that we've ever
Oh,
interviewed,
okay.
which is unique
Okay.
for Steve.
I could have worn a cowboy hat. I have a cowboy hat. You just didn't let me know.
4 to
So-
4? How does that work? I feel like she's just like tricking me. She's trying to take the conversation in whichever direction she wants. What was her last
Oh,
one?
squishy.
Oh, I was waiting for a whippersnapper.
I
I
was
thought
struggling.
I tried to
was
make you
like,
say
how am I
whippersnapper.
gonna say squishy?
sushi rolls. I didn't even know that was
There.
one.